What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of the House Show. So in today's episode, I'll be discussing with you about gated and guarded community. Before we get into today's video, right, there are actually two kinds of gated and guarded that it's available here in the market lah. Some of it it's legal, while some of it it's illegal. What do I mean by illegal? It's actually like what we can see quite commonly here is like one of the lorong, they have like 5 terrace houses. So that lorong belongs to 5 of the terrace houses only. And then they actually built a gate for that particular lorong. Then 5 of the houses, each of them has the keys to access to the lorong. So only 5 of them. If you're outsiders, you are not 5 of the house, then unfortunately we can't access lah. Those are the illegal gated community. What is actually a legal gated and guarded community then? It's actually a common practice for like a condominiums or apartments or even landed strata houses. They practice this gated and guarded community. Hopefully until now you get to understand what's actually a legal and an illegal gated and guarded community. The main discussion for today's video is actually about the pros and cons for the gated and guarded community. What do you think about it? Do you actually prefer a gated and guarded community or you don't? Let's discuss in this video. I'll be sharing with you what I've learned for this gated and guarded community. I'll be sharing with you the pros and cons for gated and guarded community, 3 points each. Let's start with the pros first. So the first pros of the gated and guarded community is that the residents, the people who is staying there, they felt secure in terms of the security. It's much better. They don't have to worry so much about the safety issue because there is a security guard located right at their entrance. That's the first pros for gated and guarded. That actually links to the cons as well. So in order to hire all these security guards, the cleaners to clean all your compounds, to actually provide you with a more secure environment, then you have to pay them their salary. Who is the one who is paying the salary then? I found out that it's actually the owners who pays all their bills, meaning to say that the owners is actually paying the security guards their monthly salary via the maintenance fee. With that, it's safe to say that the gated and guarded community, right, the maintenance fee for that is actually higher compared to a normal landed houses because you have to pay all the maintenance fee. The second pros of a gated and guarded community is that it provides more privacy in a way for the owners. Try to imagine this. This is the compound. This is the compound for the gated and guarded community. By right, there is only one entrance for the entire community. So if the entrance is here, then they have only like one entrance here. In terms of privacy, all the owners who is staying here, they have the access only. Other than the person who is staying here, most likely they can't access without the access card. It's for the security guard to actually call the owner, hello, Mr. something something, you have a visitor something something, and then only then the guard will let you access to the community, right? That means in terms of privacy, it's actually quite good in a way lah. The third point for the gated and guarded community is that the residents there, they feel more exclusive in a way because the community only belongs to the owner only. So if you don't stay there, the community doesn't belong to you. I have shared with you the first disadvantage of gated and guarded community already. Second one would be the access to the units lah. So what do I mean by this? Especially during festive season, imagine that you and your neighbors and your neighbors' neighbors are celebrating the same festival together. Before entering your compound, the guard would call you in advance to make sure that this person is legit, that they are actually visiting you. Imagine the queue outside of the security guard. That's one of the disadvantages for a gated and guarded community lah. The last disadvantage for a gated and guarded community is that you actually can't make major changes on the exterior of the house. Meaning to say that if the entire row of house is in grey in color, but if you prefer other colors than grey, you are actually not allowed to change the exterior color of the houses because they practice standardization. What you can do is only for the internal the interior thing. You can have your own interior design to design your house, but from the exterior point, everyone looks the same. While for the interior, you can have your own design. You can pick any theme that you like. While for the exterior, unfortunately, you can't do anything much with it lah. I guess that's all for this video. So if you actually learned something away from this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe it, even share it to your friends. This is James down here. Thank you for watching till the very end. I'll see you again in the next episode. See you there.